guys, it's Shaylee here, Aussies for Yang. So, John FARKING Yang. This is not a video that I wanted to do. When I woke up this morning, I didn't want to come and do this video about this topic, about yet another way that MSNBC has been an arsehat to Andrew Yang. And this one, this one just takes the case. I meant cake. This one takes the cake. So basically, they've done on their cable news show, they've done a video of Andrew crowd surfing, which was awesome, like rockstar, hello. And they've titled it John FARKING Yang, riding a wave for the 2020 election. Now you're probably going, this is really funny. And you know what? Kudos to the Yang gang for seeing humour in this. But I don't see humour in this at all. I think this is awful. And look, here's the thing, right? So Andrew Yang is a Taiwanese American. Actually, he's American with Taiwanese heritage. Emphasis, Taiwanese. Do you know how many people are out there who go around telling him to go back to China? How many people call him Chinese? Because he is such a golden person. Andrew Yang is such an inspiration. Because Andrew Yang, when something bad happens to him, he has been so graceful and so nice and taking the higher ground in this situation for months and months and months. And here's the thing, he has actually come out and said, I don't play identity politics. I don't pander to identity politics. I hate identity politics. Let me make it clear, I hate it. Absolutely I think it's the worst thing ever. And I think that it loses elections. In Australia, literally, we just had our Labor government. They lost the election because they pandered to minority identity politics. And there's a very big difference between pandering and abusing identity politics and actually calling out actual things and actual issues. So I'm not saying that the issues that certain groups have to deal with aren't real. They definitely are. I'm just saying that when politicians basically wear costumes, like someone who wore a Native American costume getting into college, I wonder who that might be. But when they wear that or they use a group to try and boost themselves up, it's not genuine. That type of stuff makes you lose elections. That's just, people don't like it. And that's why a lot of us are drawn to Andrew Yang, because he doesn't play that game, and we love that. But he was literally at a convention in California with, I've got to remember the acronym, the Asian American and Pacific Islander Conference. Only 3 of the candidates of the 20 candidates actually went. And it was the billionaire who bought his way in. I mean, kudos to him for going. I think his name's Tom or something. And Tulsi Gabbard, who is awesome, who I really like. And she's also been badly treated in this whole situation. She's another one who's copped a Bernie treatment. And Andrew. And he discussed his American Asian heritage and what it was like growing up. And I think that it has to kind of come out at some point. We have to actually address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room, whether you like it or not, is this. MSNBC and NBC and CNN and all of these media groups know that they can get away with this type of stuff because Andrew Yang does not look like an American. Particularly, Andrew Yang is an American with Taiwanese heritage, or an Asian American. And so they know they can get away with it. I watched the video from I think her name's Paget Kenny, and she is an Asian American, and she's like very much angry about this, and I'm very with her on that. And she's saying, don't tell me as an Asian American not to be angry about this, and that we have to like at some point discuss it. And it's like, I know we don't want to play identity politics. That's our whole shtick, but we are so nice, and we're so humanity first, and such a great group of people, and a great diverse group of people, that we like to, be like, well, we're here for the collective. We're here for everyone. We're not just going to be for this group or this group or this group. But we're going to have to discuss it at some point. And it's glaringly obvious with this very clear example that there is a serious issue in your mainstream media and dealing with Asian American people. This would not happen to Cory Booker. It would not be happening to Kamala Harris. It would not be happening to Julian Castro. I don't see them names getting incorrectly put up. I don't see their faces being taken off certain graphics, and I don't see, the polls stopping where they should be, or them being replaced by white dudes in polls. Do you see that? No. Why not? Oh, I wonder. Because I'm pretty sure if you did that to the African American candidates, that would be seen as inherently racist and terrible. If you did that to the Hispanic candidate, that would be racist and terrible. So why is it okay that you're allowed to do that to the Asian American candidate? Why is that? Because here's an uncomfortable, ugly, ugly truth. Most people think all Asians are the same. Most people think that all Asians look the same. They can't distinguish what areas and what countries that Asians come from. They all assume that they're all Chinese. And right now, you've got a big fight going on with China and Trump and tariffs, and China's this big, massive threat. So you view all your Asian Americans as a threat. And, and the thing is that the Asian Americans are often really, really intelligent and come from backgrounds that are very hardworking, and they do quite well for themselves. And if you look statistically, Asian Americans as like a group, in terms of wealth and in terms of education and success, are right at the top. So it's kind of like, oh, well, they're doing really well, so it's okay that we are racist towards them. Like, who cares? They're doing really well. Like, and that's the thing. And people just like, you hear like, if you think of everything racist about Asians, what is it? Oh, look at that chick. Oh, his name's Ding. Oh, you're Ding Dong. Like, there is a lot of like history of being like, oh, look at that Asian and his like Asian name. Like, that's a thing. So when you replace a candidate who's been running for 2 years in a presidential like campaign, and you replace that person's name because all Asians look the same, like, come on, like, you are breeding into that stereotype and justifying that in people's heads, and that's really not cool. Like, I really do think that it's going to get to a point where Andrew's going to have to address it somehow, because, and then he's got the challenge of like, because it's a complex one, but it's just really pissed me off. Like, it's pissed me off in a way that really, and the hard thing is like, what's my opinion? I'm white. Like, that's not my lived experience, but I mean, I'm looking at it from the outside going, that would be really horrible. Context, my cat just knocked that off. That would be terrible. I would not want to grow up experiencing that. I've never treated other people like that. Like, in Australia, I mean, like, we do have some race issues, particularly with us, it's the Sudanese. And we do with a little bit of Asian Australians, but man, like, it's really tough because on the one hand, I'm like, I don't want to play identity politics. And then on the other hand, I'm like, this racism is so blatantly obvious. Like, how did we get ourselves in this position where every other like group is able to scream from the rooftops and talk about it and have it addressed, except for this particular group? It's just really, really bizarre. And I don't want to like, you know, cause issues with Yang and his campaign when I know that he wants to be humanity first. But my God, it just makes my blood boil watching the media treat him like hot garbage in a way that just they would not try with anyone else. Like, they wouldn't have done that to Barack Obama. So, like, and he was an outsider at the time. Like, he was polling low. So why do they feel that it's okay to do this? And I just bet you they go, oh, sorry. It was a genuine accident. We didn't mean to do that. Oh, we're really, really sorry. And it's like, you may not be aware consciously that you did it in that way and you meant it that way. But somewhere in your subconscious, you probably thought that. Like, that was probably something that you've thought for 20 or 30 years. And that's a hard thing for people to address, to actually go, holy moly, like, I have these biases. I've had to do that myself, where I've been like, oh, I've had biases about immigrants. I've had biases about this particular political group, or I've had biases about, you know, gay people, or biases about this or about that. And I mean, like, as a human being, it's about growing and learning and recognizing where something is and changing it. But I just feel like if it doesn't get pulled up at any point and it doesn't get discussed, then these guys are just going to keep doing it over and over again. And every time that they do it, like right now, we have a monopoly on Twitter. We have a monopoly on the internet. And we're all quite, like, a lot of the supporters are quite young. But we need to be getting to the people who are sitting at home watching TVs. And all that this does is further add confusion, further, like, scapegoats, and throws people away from actually getting to know Andrew Yang. It's almost like a tactic so that they don't actually get an opportunity to actually even go, oh, who is this Andrew Yang person? Oh, yes, I know, you're an needy attention-seeking cat. So yeah, that's my rant for the day. Let me know in the comments what you think, because I feel like we need to find a way to address this. Not in a woe is me kind of like way, but in a way that's like, oh, hang on a minute, this isn't cool. And yeah, because it's just, otherwise, how many times do we let this happen? Like, you know, what happens if, like, at some point we have something else happen that's even worse, and then they just go, oh, we're really, really sorry, we didn't actually mean it. Bugger off. Oh, and one more thing before I go. It's actually when you follow the money. Remember that thing Andrew said where America runs to the almighty dollar? Follow the money at MSNBC and have a look at where you get led. Do you know where you get led? Joe Biden. That's where you get led. You literally go up about who they're owned. Oh, they're owned by Comcast. Okay, who are the people that are there? Oh, let's look at who they donated to. Oh, they donated to Joe Biden. Who just literally copied Andrew Yang's stump speech the other day? Joe Biden. Pretty easy to put two and two together. You're doing it because you're biased towards another candidate, and you think you can get away with it because this candidate is an Asian American. That's the bottom line. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Toodaloo.